During Pride Month, voices of the LGBTQ+ community are celebrated. One St. Louis woman has been an advocate for transgender people and the community as a whole. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski sat down with Jordan Braxton as she shares a very personal part of her journey.
She's a woman who's been a constant in the St. Louis LGBTQ+ community.
I love helping people, and I'm always a fighter. I'm a fighter and believer in people's rights. I've been here advocating for HIV and STI prevention and trans rights and intersex rights for the last, say, 37 years.
Jordan Elizabeth Braxton has been an inspiration and guiding light for transgender people in St. Louis and beyond.
Being transgender is not a choice. It's who I am. It's who I was born to be.
Jordan says her sex assigned at birth was male, and she didn't feel right identifying as a man.
I knew from a very young age. I told my family, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl, but they ignored it.
At that point in her life, loved ones called her Leon and knew her as a gay man. She went through decades of her life struggling with her gender identity.
It's called dysphoria, and I had dysphoria really bad.
One thing that helped her be her true self was performing in drag as Dieta Pepsi and competing in pageants. She was crowned Miss Gay Missouri in 1991. Now she's hitting the pageant stage again for the first time in more than 20 years.
One of the things I'm most proud of is being Miss Trans Great Plains. And so I'm going to Milwaukee November 7th to the 10th to compete for Miss Trans USA, but I'm going to compete as Jordan, not as Dieta.
One day her friends took her to the doctor to get Botox, but when the doctor came into the room, she said, "I'm actually here to put you on a diet and we need to do some blood work." Those results changed her life forever.
We found out that my chromosomes, some of them are actually XXY, which are female chromosomes. I said, oh, and she said, and some of your hormones are also female. So she said, technically, you are a pseudohermaphrodite, or in clinicians' term, intersex.
When she was 53, she started taking estrogen.
The moment that I took that first estrogen pill, everything became normal and everything felt right.
And at 55, she made the jump to transition.
I woke up one morning and said, you know what, I'm gonna transition today. I put on hair, makeup, went to work, told them my name was Jordan, and guess what happened? No one batted an eye.
So at 62 years old, she took the final step in her transition journey, surgery.
It's called vaginoplasty. So it took me 5 years because I had some medical conditions that prevented that. I had some heart issues.
For that surgery, she had to see Dr. Lauren Schechter in Chicago at Rush University Medical Center.
I got everything prepared, went to Chicago, had surgery, had my aftercare in Chicago, and then the rest is history. So it's been a year and a few months since I've had my surgery.
Dr. Schechter says gender-affirming care is safe, effective, medically necessary, and truly life-saving.
We know what happens when people with severe dysphoria don't receive care. Self-harm, worsening anxiety, worsening depression, worsening gender dysphoria.
He says listening to people can go a long way in dispelling hatred and misinformation.
Listening to people like Miss Braxton tell her story and listen to what she's saying and listen to how important and how impactful surgery was for her.
If you could tell someone who maybe doesn't understand what it means to be trans, what would you say to them?
Trans is beautiful. I have trans joy. I love being trans. It's just who I am. It's not anything different. Just like I ask people all the time. So when you ask me what it's like to be trans, I ask you what it's like to be a female. What's it like for you to be straight? What's it like for you to be gay? It's no different. It's just who I am. And people should not be judged on their genitalia. It should be judged by their character and their heart and how they help people.
Reporting in St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
And you can see Jordan compete in the Miss Trans America competition in Milwaukee this November.